I think it's shout out to all the husbands out there who are in this situation, but I think like when women make friends, they hope their husbands will get along. So a lot of times, like you're friends with a couple, like despite the other, like you guys are cool with each other, like you're not necessarily deep, but like you can put up with each other, you can have some basic conversations while your wives are super super close. And I think
you're just trying to find one thing that you agree on that you like.
Yeah, but
all
I
right,
think
we'll talk about that for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
I think men confuse that with friendship. And they think like, well, I have these people in my life, or men have, I will generalize here, men have a way more difficult time going deeper than women do. Somebody once described to me, and I think this is so cool and true, they said women define their close friends by who they know the most about, and men define their close friends by who they spend the most time with. So two dudes can sit in silence and play a video game for 5 hours together, and when they walk out, they feel like they've had the best bro time ever.
Guilty.
Whereas if you put two women in that same situation, they would feel like complete strangers. And I think that's obviously not true for every man and woman, but I think there's a lot of truth to that. And you have to take steps to do the opposite. You have to take steps to deepen that friendship more than just sitting with each other. Because men view friendship like that, they think, well, because this husband's here, I'm going to see him a lot, my wife is friends with his wife, that's an excuse for friendship, when we have to take those steps to go deeper. And it's interesting because I've done these polls, especially with men on my page, because I think it was something like 90% of men said that they wanted a deep friendship and they didn't currently have it. That's a huge number of men. Yeah. And they all said the same thing when I asked them, like, well, what do you want? Like, what is your advice? Those of you who do have friends. And they said, you have to be the one who initiates the friendship. They said, everybody wants the other person to initiate, but when everybody wants the other person to initiate, nobody initiates. But because everybody wants the other person to initiate, that means they'll be fine if you text them. You don't have to overthink. You can send them that text that says, like, do you want to hang out? Do you want to go out for coffee? Let's go play some video games. Let's go here. Let's do that. And if they say no, who cares? Try again. And people don't want to be, like, people want to feel pursued regardless of what kind of relationships it is. That's with family too. Like, people want, like, their family to reach out. They want their, romantic interests to reach out. Guys also want their friends to reach out too and ask, like, hey, I heard your wife had a hard day. Are you doing okay? Can we go out and have some talks? And I think the more men kind of shed that, like, macho thing of, like, well, if I have a friend, he'll reach out to me, and it's not all about us. Like, we need to be those initiators. It's the same thing with bringing conversations to a deeper level. Sometimes it's scary, but sometimes you have to be the one who gets vulnerable first in order for the relationship to get deeper. Because I'm telling you, 99 times out of 100, the times I've been vulnerable first, they've been vulnerable right back. And when I talk about something I struggle with, a lot of times they've been like, oh my gosh, me too. Why does no one talk about that? And then all of a sudden you've built this bond that is getting deeper and deeper and can strengthen your faith, and it takes away the loneliness. It's awful, the number of men who are just completely lonely and don't realize it and aren't willing to do anything about it.
Man, that's good and deep.
Yeah.
You get something, Matt?
No, not really. That's awesome. You nailed it. I'm grateful that I do have a friend that I can go to and be vulnerable with, and he just happens to be my wife's cousin's husband. His name is James, and I love him very much, and I'm very, very close with him. And so that works out. But yeah, I think most of the time what happens is that, there's like this forced relationship thing when it is complicated when you're married and you have a kid and you want to bring two families together and be friends, but it doesn't always work out. It's kind of forced and cringy, but you learn to appreciate those people, because it's hard to have people that you can have the same schedules with. So,
yeah. Moral of the story is, men, text your friends or text the men that you want to become friends with and be intentional. And I will say, as somebody who has been intentional with certain people and maybe not gotten the same intentionality back, just be okay with that and understand that that's going to happen too, and keep going forward. Don't take that as, oh, this person doesn't want anything to do with me. It's just kind of like what you said, as like, men aren't necessarily used to that, and they're not comfortable sometimes with that, but it will grow and it will build, and it'd be great.
Hey, y'all, we hope you loved this conversation. Here at Young Married Christian, we are on a mission to see a gospel-centered home made available for every single child in the foster care system. There are 400,000 kids in the foster care system, and there are 400,000 churches in America. Wow. That is crazy. This is absolutely a solvable problem, and we want to be a part of it. If you want to join us in that mission, text the word freedom to 833-370-1610.
833-370-1610. 833-370-1610.
I just did it.
And another thing you can do that is really helpful is to smash the like button on this video.
Smash it like Satan's face. Crush it like it's Lucifer's head.
It really helps us a ton, so smash that like button, subscribe to this channel.
That's it.
Smash the like button on this video.